to Mr. Chancellor, sir, the next team, the Kisi traditional dancers. Welcome.
Dr. B on these, ladies and gentlemen.
Omukungu somation myanga yakomanya warugirwe gusemboke gusembo mwana. Omukungu somation myanga yakomanya warugirwe gusemboke gusembo mwana. Gusembo mwana baba. Gusemboke gusembo mwana baba. Gusemboke gusembo mwana gusemboke gusembo mwana. Gusembo mwana baba. Gusemboke gusembo mwana baba. Gusemboke gusembo mwana gusemboke gusembo mwana.
On stage is the Lukenya Kisi community, ready to present a cultural dance entitled Yes, Enter Bruta. It was sung during jazz season. Stay tuned.
Dr. B on this, ladies and gentlemen.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, the next team, they are Camber traditional dancers. Welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, on stage, Lukenya University Camber community, ready to present you a Camber traditional dance. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. Welcome.
Mr. Chancellor, may I request you to join the congregation in applauding the entertainers.
Mr. Chancellor, allow me to call upon the Lusa University Students Association Chair to come forward and give his speech. Lusa Chairperson.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, all invited guests, all protocol observed, parents, guardians, graduates, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, receive greetings from the Lukenya University Student Association. Mr. Chancellor, sir, on behalf of the Lukenya University Student Association, I take this great opportunity to welcome all our guests, both from within and outside this region, who have joined us today to witness this great day event of Lukenya University. We are grateful to have you in our midst to celebrate our third graduation. I also want to thank all the graduates assembled here today for the great work done. Their discipline, perseverance, sacrifice, and hard work are evident. It has been such a long journey, tiresome and full of ups and downs, but despite all those, you are able to make it in your academic work, and at long last, you have emerged victorious. It is with great honor that I stand here today to say that you are our heroes and heroines during this great day of Lukenya University. I also extend my gratitude to the family of Mrs. Mother Kasanga Mulua for laying the foundation stone for this great University of Lukenya, which is a fountain of knowledge to a young generation. Their efforts are worth appreciating for discovering this oasis where thirsty souls get education. Therefore, I'm fully convinced that this is the center where great things will come from. And therefore, as Lukenya University fraternity, we are determined to make sure this dream comes true. The Lukenya University fraternity is The Lukenya University fraternity is made up of one big extended family, which is comprised of members from diverse backgrounds, but when we meet here, we conform to one family, working under the principle of love, care for one another, which leads to creating a harmonious society. The administrative system is interconnected to ensure the university affairs run smoothly for the betterment of Lukenya University and the future generation. The Lusa government works as a bridge among the University Management Senate and the students to ensure that the issues of the student are sorted out amicably and the best solutions are found. All these efforts are meant to make sure that the Lukenya University moves in one direction and to create a better place for the future generation. We are a dynamic institution, an institution where change is embraced as long as these changes impact positively to our students. At Lukenya University, students are not only equipped with academic knowledge, but also with the skills, including the soft skills that help us compete favorably in the job market. We also participate in a co-curricular activities, research projects, clubs, and other activities that are meant to equip our students with the necessary skills. Through these activities, we can interact with the students from other universities, and through that, we learn to borrow moral values that will assist us fit in the bigger society. Academics alone is not enough for fixing students in the job market, and as the institution, we engage in activities that can give us a better competing power in the outside world and in the entire job market. We embrace a culture where we are equipped with good skills and knowledge, and therefore instead of seeking jobs outside there, we become job creators and employ the larger members of the society. We are therefore able to see the unseen opportunities and make something good out of them. The world is run by risk takers. And therefore we should learn how to take risk for us to be successful. We can all agree that the job market is very competitive, and it is easier to lock people out if they don't have good survival mechanisms. We therefore hope that our graduates today from Lukenya University will be the leading job creators in this country and not job seekers. And hence, they will place us in a better place in the map of Kenya as the best university, producing quality degrees and alongside better skills. Our dear graduates, disciplines, hard work, respect are the core pillars of success. When you combine the three factors, then you will be good to go. As you are released to the world, be our ambassadors, and we expect to see you coming back for masters in Lukenya University. God bless you all. Thank you all.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, allow me to call upon the Alumni Association Chair to come forward and address the congregation.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, the guest of honor, PS of Implementation of Curriculum Reforms, Professor Fatuma Chege, governors, members of parliament, other state officers present, the chairperson board of trustees, Honorable Senator Sylvia Kasanga, members of board of trustees, members of the University Council, Vice Chancellor of Lukenya University, Professor Constantine Nyamboga, members of the University Management Board, Lukenya University Senate, staff, students, all graduates, online audience, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Mr. Chancellor, sir, on behalf of the Lukenya Alumni Association, I am humbled and grateful to be part of this auspicious occasion. I salute you, Grandians, for excellent job which has enabled you to earn various awards today. It's also my pleasure to congratulate the university management for the tireless efforts in scaling Lukenya University to greater heights, not forgetting the swift move to online services during the COVID-19 pandemic. This being the third graduation ceremony, it comes at a time when we are just easing from the strict measures to curb COVID-19. Thanks to our homeland for keeping us safe and opening the country to enable us celebrate this day. To our graduates, as you step out, embrace the new normal and make the best of it. The Alumni Association is in its kickoff, and we urge you to actively participate in its agenda now that you are joining the alumni fraternity. The association will provide you with numerous opportunities for collaborations, networkings, and partnership with potential employers. You will also join our mentorship programs in Lukenya University in the spirit of giving back to the community. All of you graduates, you are urged to register with us, that's the Lukenya Alumni Association, so as to fully enjoy the fruits of membership. Our team of the Alumni Association is committed and is ready and to open space for further discussions with you. Dear Grandians, as we approach the next electioneering year, go out there and be the light to the rest of the citizens. Participate responsibly, conduct yourselves with patriotism, sense of commitment and decorum that others can emulate. I'm convinced without reasonable doubt that you will be great ambassadors and flag bearers of the great Lukenya University. May the Almighty God grant you wisdom to use the skills you have acquired here to make yourselves better. Thank you all, and may God bless Lukenya University. Thank you.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, once again, allow me to call upon the overall based graduate to read the class valedictory address to the congregation. As he comes along, Mr. Chancellor, sir, I'd like to remind you and your guests, in the previous two graduation ceremonies, we have had two ladies being the best graduates. And I posed the question to you, if you can remember very well, what happened to the boy child? Finally, the boy child has resurfaced. Thank you.
Mr. Chancellor, Vice Chancellor, distinguished guests, deans, faculty, alumni, family, friends, my fellow graduates, good morning. My name is Othman Habib, and I'm beyond honored to give the valedictorian speech on behalf of all graduating students. Quite frankly, I was rather worried when I was asked to give this speech, not particularly because I feared, but because I felt the pressure to deliver a speech that not just a few can relate to, but everyone present at this graduation square. That meant that I ought to deliver a speech that all the graduates can relate to. A speech that my parents can circulate over WhatsApp, as in WhatsApp, every time they mention that I had graduated, and a speech that will make sure that my transcripts are not withheld. Anyways, I'm just kidding. Thinking about the many people present today and how I hoped my words will strike a chord with each and every one of them, my mind settled at thought of the reason why we are gathered here today, and that is us, the graduates. 4 years ago, we gathered in the lecture hall for orientation, or at least some of us did. 4 years ago, some of us did not want to be here, but here we are. 4 years ago, some of us did not know who we are, while others knew exactly the person they are and the person they were working to be. 4 years down the line, a lot of that has changed. We have learned not just the requisite coursework, but also a lot about ourselves. We have unlearned and we have survived the days, the assignments, the units, and the exams that we once thought will be the reason we will not graduate. We've had a memorable 4 years. Perhaps some of us may echo Charles Dickens' opening in line of two cities. It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. Personally, I've always thought that if asked what the peak of my undergraduate life was, I'd say this graduation. In retrospect, there have been several peaks, just to mention a few: buried in the library, playing football at the university grounds, casual singing, which I was told I'm good at, watching EPL football on weekends at the university mess as a group, making new friends and blending in where necessary just to make acquaintances. Looking back, we have a lot to be thankful for. For starters, we owe our presence here to the Almighty. Coming in a strong second, we recognize the sacrifices made by our parents, guardians, and sponsors. We remain deeply grateful for their choice to invest in us and our education. We also have people who make up this wonderful institution to thank, from the supporting staff to the faculty administrator, the lecturers, the general university administration and management. We cannot forget to thank those friends who so kindly shared with us their notes, particularly during revision time. To these friends, reading your notes gave us a rich experience of the same lecturer, and we cannot express our full thanks to the hopefully. These words are a good start. As we close this chapter of our life, move on to the next, degree in there's a lot we risk. We risk oblivion, we risk making the wrong choices, we risk disappointing those we care about, but more than that, we risk failing by not trying. Despite us having our degrees, let us remain open to learning. The truth is that having a degree does not mean we have our lives figured out, nor that we are infallible. So we'll make those mistakes, we will inevitably disappoint people we care about, and we'll make the wrong choices here and there. But all in all, let us always look for the lesson to be learned. Going forth, let us define the success on our own terms. Let us rise with even more grit after every fall, and let us actualize the ambition cradled in us. As one said, our mission is not to follow the footsteps of those who graduated before us, but to exceed their footsteps and crush the shoulders of the giants upon who we stand. If you feel at any point that life is becoming too hard and that obstacles are coming from left and right, please don't panic. Remember that life can get better if we have the right tools to work with. Tools like a positive attitude, an education, the right friends, and fierce determination. Class of 2021, it is up all to you to make a difference, to have people say honorable things about you and leave the impression that you never gave up on yourself. Society is counting on you. Excellence is never an accident. It's the result of hard work. Go forward, work hard, and attain excellence. The kind of excellence that will make your dreams reality. A secure future can be a reality. You must visualize tomorrow, a safe, happy, prosperous tomorrow, and make it happen. I'd like to close by echoing John Stewart and Douglas Vimia's word. College is something you complete, but life is something you experience. Don't worry about your grades, results, or success. Success is defined in a myriad of ways, and you will find it, and people will no longer be grading you. It will come from your own internal sense of decency, and so your opus isn't just what you do. It will be the leg of what you've become. Class of 2021, good luck, and remember, graduation is only the beginning. Congratulations, class of 2021. Thank you.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, with your permission, I'd like this gentleman to come down and greet you with your guests. And one thing we need to note, this is the first cohort in our program, Community Development. There are only 2 candidates. And out of those, one has emerged the giant. So with your permission, sir, he's coming down to greet you and your guests. Thank you, sir. Mr. Chancellor, sir, Allow me to call upon the Vice Chancellor to address the congregation.
Chancellor, sir, before I proceed, allow me to appreciate especially, or to allow me to appreciate the current president of students. Let us all applause him. Applause. You can agree with me that our current president has articulated a number of issues which are positive, but I think we did not recognize that. Thank you, Cyrus. You'll be a great person. Mr. Chancellor, sir, the PS Department of Implementation Curriculum Reforms, Professor Fatuma N. Chege, who's our keynote speaker, the Chairperson Board of Trustees, the Chairman University Council, members of the University Council, chancellors from other universities watching us virtually, chairpersons of other university councils watching us virtually, vice chancellor of sister universities present, watching us virtually, members of University Management Board, University Senate, chairperson of the university alumni, and all the alumni members, staff, students, all graduates, all stakeholders, online audience, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. A very good morning. God is good, and all the time. Mr. Chancellor, sir, it's a great privilege and honor to welcome you and all invited guests to the Lukenya University 3rd graduation ceremony. This is indeed a special occasion to the university and the graduates. I wish to congratulate all the graduates of class 2021 for completing their studies on a record time, despite the negative effects of COVID-19 pandemic that locked our country in March 2020. Due to COVID-19 containment measures, our graduates had to go through virtual classes and virtual exams to complete their programs. Mr. Chancellor, sir, allow me in a special way to thank the BOT members led by the able chairperson, Honorable Senator Divya Kasanga, the University Council members under the distinguished leadership of Mr. Daniel Ndonye. Thank you for your steward leadership and the provision of necessary resources that enabled our students to excel in their studies. Not forgetting the founder BOT chairperson, Ms. Mother Mulua, who has ensured that the founder's dreams and aspirations is kept alive and passed from one generation to another. Mr. Chancellor, sir, I salute the faculty members of the university. Even in the midst of COVID-19 pandemic, they did not falter. They remained steadfast in impacting knowledge and the skills to the graduating class of 2021 and other students. Let me also congratulate graduates, parents, guardians, and sponsors for their financial and moral support that has made it possible for them to complete their studies. During this period, I know that some parents lost their loved ones and jobs, but kept the faith of ensuring that their sons and daughters get a bright future. It is therefore through the grace of God that we are alive and present today to witness our students graduating. Mr. Chancellor, sir, the university fraternity is honored to present 449 for the conferment of various degrees and award of diplomas and certificates of Lukenya University. 60 students will be conferred with a master's degree in education. 357 will be conferred with a bachelor's degree. 48 will be awarded diploma, and 7 will be awarded certificates and 1 arts and student. It's also worth to mention that out of the 449 graduates, 294 are from the School of Education and Social Sciences, 107 from the School of Business and Economics, and 48 from the School of Agriculture and Technical Studies. Mr. Chancellor, sir, today's ceremony marks a transition of our students from the university to the labor market. We are cognizant of the fact that the issues of unemployment and the limited career opportunities for graduates continue to be a big concern for all the stakeholders, both locally and internationally. It is therefore my humble submission that our university has equipped these graduates with relevant entrepreneurial and technical ICT skills to be globally competent and competitive. Mr. Chancellor, sir, this is in line with the third graduation theme of building a culture of entrepreneurship founded on skilled manpower. Let me urge all graduates to seize every opportunity that comes your way by being creative, innovative, and adventurous. Please, graduates, look for opportunities beyond your discipline and comfort. Tackle the societal challenges and endeavor to solve them. Remember the Mandela memorable quote that there is nothing more beautiful than someone who goes out of their way to make life beautiful for others. As an entrepreneur, you will not only make life beautiful for others, but also for yourself. Mr. Chancellor, sir, our university is on an upward trajectory and are committed to its vision of being a dynamic university committed to excellence in teaching, research, training, and community service. We are also on course in realizing our mission of providing quality education, product-oriented research, intensive training in an atmosphere of academic freedom for the benefit and development of society. To affirm this further, allow me to enumerate our key successes and challenges. 1, academic affairs of the university. Mr. Chancellor, sir, Lukenya University has 3 schools, namely School of Education and Social Sciences, School of Business and Economics, and School of Agriculture and Technical Studies. Our students' population this year is about 2,000, and we project that this number will double to 4,000 in the year 2026, based on the increase in enrollment over the past 5 years. This calls for expansion in the university infrastructure and bringing on board more faculty members to accommodate the increasing number of students. Let me thank the government for their continued support through COOPS and Q by placing students to our university. Madam PS, Professor Fatuma, convey our appreciations to the CS Ministry of Education, and we pray that the Ministry of Education continues with this great gesture. Mr. Chancellor, sir, following the directive issued by the President of the Republic of Kenya on March 15, 2020, regarding close of learning institutions, Lukenya University, in consultation with the Governing Council, Q, and the management, rolled out the online teaching and learning program. It's worth to mention that our students undertook a successful online examination, and this enabled us have uninterrupted yearly graduation ceremonies. Now that the government gave us a leeway to conduct physical teaching and learning, we have further strengthened our capacities in readiness for any eventuality. In all this undertaking, quality of learning and examinations were all above board. The university infrastructure, accommodation. Mr. Chancellor, sir, the university has expanded its infrastructure to accommodate a growing number of students. 2 additional hostels for both male and female students have been put up, holding a capacity of 160 students each. The university continues to expand its infrastructure for accommodating not only for students, but also staff. Health Center, Lukenya University Health Center has been registered and licensed by Kenya Medical Practitioners and the Dentists Council. We are happy to state that our health facility provides essential services not only to our students and the staff, but also to our immediate community members. The library. Mr. Chancellor, sir, as a result of commissioning the Justice Kasanga Mulua Memorial Library, our staff and the students now have a conducive environment to conduct learning, training, and research. I can assure you that we are utilizing the library well. Our library is linked to other university libraries, and we have subscribed to information databases locally and globally. It's worth to note that our academic and library staff have inculcated the culture of reading amongst our students. Staff are also utilizing the library for reference materials and research. Research, collaborations, and partnership. Mr. Chancellor, sir, we have enhanced our research network locally and globally through a number of collaborations, linkages, and partnerships. Our key partners entail Association of Charitable Children Institutions in Kenya, Concert City Technopolis, Smart Network on Climate Change, Africa Association of Vertical Farming, mainstream banks, county governments, KMTC, among others. As a result, our university has been exposed to numerous opportunities in training, development of learning materials for short courses, securing internship, and attachment places for our students and collaborations in hosting conferences. Mr. Chancellor, sir, on a positive note, our university is a global center of excellence in climate-smart agriculture in the whole of Africa. As a result of this, our first cohort of 9 interns and the 5 frontiers of climate-smart agriculture youth network global completed their ascension on September 30th, 2021. The second cohort of climate-smart agriculture youth network interns comprising of 15 students began their assignment as from 1st of October 2021. Our 4 students made it among the top 12 in the world using the Queen Innovation Competition. They submitted a proposed project entitled Climate Smart Agro-Hydroban Multipurpose Crop Production. The African Association of Vertical Farming has set up a vertical farming project at Lukenya. Lukenya University emerged overall winners in the just concluded essay writing competition organized by the Kenya government through the Kenya Wildlife Service and the management of Tsavo National Park. The university submitted 11 entrants and took the overall top position, following a clean sweep of the top 3 positions by its competitors in the tertiary category. The best overall essay was written by Naomi Chelangat, while Elizabeth Kanini and Alex Munyao took positions 2 and 3 respectively. And I can assure you for free that these students, after their, from 10th of next month, they have been contracted as research assistants by the wildlife for 2 weeks. So they have a big Christmas for their families. They have let us already. So while others will be going home, they will be working with the Tsavo National Park, particularly the focus on wildlife for 10 days before they proceed home for their Christmas. The collaboration involves Lukenya University, Southeastern Kenya University, Masai Mara University, Scott University. I beg your pardon, Mr. Chancellor, sir. On 3rd March 2021, the monitoring and evaluation team from the National Research Fund visited our university. This was in connection with the collaborative cassava project running at Lukenya University. The collaboration involves Lukenya University, Southeastern Kenya University, Masai Mara University, Scott University, Carroll, and the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock. It's worth to note that the Lukenya University Cassava Project was ranked #1 among the partner institutions. A cassava germ plasm center would be set up at the university whereby access to the required seeds and material would be made possible to the neighboring community and other stakeholders. We also made headline in the KTN News on 17 May 2021 and 22nd May 2021 on the Standard newspaper regarding our cassava project. Mr. Chancellor, sir, with regard to this research conference, our university held a successful second international conference organized by the School of Business and Economics under the theme Influence of Economic Contagion in the Times of COVID-19 in Kenya and Beyond, creating a unified freedom through foundation through research, practice, and innovation on 6th and 8th October 2021. The conference was attended virtually and saw a number of scholarly papers presented by local and international researchers. It is important to note that some members of the BOT and the University Council participated in the conference in one way or another. A number of keynote speakers graced the conference, namely the Deputy CEO Q, Professor Grace Njoroge, the CEO Kenya Pipeline Company Nairobi, Dr. Ayabei Jonah, Managing Director Global Climate Smart Agriculture Youth Network, Divine, Vice Chancellor CTEC University, Professor Jenge Munene, among others. Challenges faced by the university. Mr. Chancellor, sir, allow me to reiterate that as a university that is focused to its vision and mission, we have experienced a number of challenges, though these challenges have also provided us with opportunities to be innovative. As I've explained earlier, due to increase in student enrollment over the years, our infrastructure facilities have been overstretched. It is my humble prayer to the county government and our key stakeholders, i.e. banks, organizations, and the alumni, to take a leading role in mobilizing funds for the university infrastructure development. You have also noticed, Mr. Chancellor, sir, that the Maram Road from Titandei to the university needs some upgrade. I therefore wish to appeal to both the national and the county governments to come to our aid and assist us by tarmacking the road. This will make transportation to the university easier and affordable. It will also lead to opening up of investment opportunities in this area. Mr. Chancellor, sir, allow me to take this opportunity to expose our utmost appreciation to the national government, the county government, and the Minister of Education, Science and Technology for their continued support. Finally, on behalf of the University Management Board, University Senate, staff, and students, allow me to take this opportunity to once again congratulate our graduates of class 2021 for successful completion of their studies in spite of the devastating effect of COVID-19 pandemic that almost disrupted their studies. Dear graduates of class 2021, the certificates and diplomas that you are about to be awarded and the degrees that you are about to be conferred are not mere papers. They represent the skills and the qualifications that you have acquired at Lukenya University. They also symbolize your readiness to serve the community, which is indeed in line with our motto, Postera Crasking Raude, laboring for the benefit of the future generation. The world today requires that you must have more than a degree qualifications. The first Kenyan American president of the most powerful country in the world, USA, Barack Obama, opined that all those adults that you used to think were in charge and knew what they were doing. It turns out they don't have all the answers. A lot of them aren't even asking the right questions. So if the world is going to get better, it's going to be up to you. In the words of Tom Hanks, the future is always uncertain, but we who celebrate what you have done, we celebrate all of your achievements. We are also certain of one thing on this day: you will not let us down. Mr. Chancellor, sir, in order to demonstrate our confidence in quality of our graduates, the university policies to offer full scholarship to the best overall student. Mr. Chancellor, sir, allow me now to commission our graduates to the world in the words of Mayors Jr., go into the world and do well, but more importantly, go into the world and do good. I would like to most sincerely wish all graduates well in their future endeavors. Once again, congratulations. Thank you, and God bless you all. God bless Lukenya. It's now my pleasure to invite the Chairman of Council, Mr. Daniel Ndoye, to address the congregation.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, Mr. Harris Mullah, the guest of honor today, Permanent Secretary, Department of Implementation of Curriculum Reforms, Professor Fatuma Chege, governors, members of parliament, and other state officers here present, the chairperson, Board of Trustees, Honorable Senator Sylvia Kasanga, members of the Board of Trustees, my fellow members of the University Council, chairpersons of the University Councils here present, Vice Chancellor of Lukenya University, Professor Constantine Nyaboga, chancellors from other universities, vice chancellors of sister universities present, members of the University Management Board, Lukenya University Senate, chairperson of the university alumni and all the alumni members, staff, students, all graduates, all stakeholders, online audience, wherever you are, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Mr. Chancellor, sir, before I make my remarks, please allow me to introduce the Lukenya University Council members, some of whom are here participating online. Can I ask you to step forward, those who are here, so that the congregation can recognize you? not in any particular order. Mrs. Mother Kasanga Mulua, right, thank you. Professor Constantine Nyamboga, who is Vice Chancellor and Secretary of Council. Oh, there you are. Thank you. Mr. Robert Wax, who is participating all the way from the U.S. Mr. Sachin Shaha. Thank you. Dr. Ben Mukalama. Professor Damari Scali. Thank you. Justice Joseph Mutava. Thank you. Mr. Sami Muvela. Thank you. And I can't forget to introduce to you our very able coordinator of council affairs, Mr. Maundu Matenzawa. Where are you? Please stand up and be recognized. Thank you very much. For and on behalf of Lukenya University Governing Council and on my own behalf, I am pleased to welcome you all to Lukenya University and specifically to the Lukenya University third graduation ceremony. The theme of this year's graduation is building a culture of entrepreneurship founded on skilled manpower. To our distinguished graduates, this theme of building a culture of entrepreneurship founded on skilled manpower is relevant to you in the prevailing economic times. These are times when Kenya's economy and the world economy at large have started a slow but promising recovery from negative effects of COVID-19 that has been witnessed in the last 2 years. Over these 2 years, Lukenya community has shown great resilience, which has led to the successful completion of your studies and culminating in this graduation ceremony. As we recuperate from these hard times, entrepreneurship is a sure path to employment creation and economic progression. As you graduate today, take with you the culture of entrepreneurship that has been founded on the skills imparted to you during the course of study at Lukenya University. Over the study period, you have been equipped with the requisite abilities. Please convert these aptitudes into enterprises. Successful enterprises will enable you to generate employment for yourselves and others, then create wealth for yourselves, your families, for the Kenyan economy, and for the world at large. Dear graduates, this proposition of entrepreneurship culture is based on current data and studies on the prevailing economic situation in the country. According to the Economic Survey 2021, in year 2020, some 14.5 million workers out of a total workforce of 17.4 million people were in the informal sector. This means that the informal sector employs a total of 83.3% of the total labor force. A further analysis shows that from the period 2015 to 2019, a total of 4.2 million new jobs were created. Out of this, 3.7 million new jobs, representing about 88%, were in the informal sector, courtesy of Economic Survey 2020. Dear graduates, business is the way to go. Think big, but start small. Then you grow your ideas and keep going. In case of failure at the start, do not lose hope. start again and keep moving. You should have resilience and determination which knows no barriers. Research has shown that very large business empires of today started small. Examples of such businesses include the great Coca-Cola company. The Coca-Cola company started in a pharmaceutical shop, and from this small start, the company made an average sales of just about 9 bottles in a day for the first year. In our current economy, this would translate to 9 bottles times 50 shillings per bottle to give sales of 450 shillings in a day. Annually, this would translate to total income of about 450 shillings times 365 equals 164,000 shillings, 250 Kenya shillings. Imagine this is how today's mighty Coca-Cola started. Local examples of large enterprises that started small include Equity Bank, Mackinder Motors Cargo, among many others. The Lukenya institutions are also part of this long list of local, resilient, and progressively growing businesses that started from a modest beginning. The Lukenya institution started from a small wooden building truck back in 1992. From this start of Lukenya University, the empire has grown into a group of 5 schools, a college, and proudly to Lukenya University. You too, dear graduates, can start your enterprises and grow them from small beginnings. Graduates, as you receive your highly prized academic awards, it is imperative for you to recognize the vital role played by your parents and guardians. They sponsored you to attend and complete your studies. You must never forget them. Appreciate them for their contribution in your success. Other than your parents and guardians, I also take cognizance of the role played by other key stakeholders in enabling successful completion of your studies at Lukenya University. Among these include, but are not limited to, the government of Kenya, the county government of Makueni, the government agencies like the Commission for University Education, Kenya Universities and Colleges Central Placement Services, National Police Service, among many others. The government, together with these agencies, has provided the necessary legal, regulatory, and support framework ideal for your education. We trust that the government shall continue supporting higher education services in this country. Turning to the graduation ceremony, Mr. Chancellor Sir, the Governing Council is satisfied that the graduates being conferred and awarded degrees, diplomas, and certificates today have met the necessary academic requirements. This certification has been realized through rigorous implementation of curricula as stipulated in the Universities Act and the Commission for University Education Standards and Guidelines. To this, we say congratulations to the University Senate and the Board of Management. Mr. Chancellor Sir, I can confirm the University Board of Management and Senate, led by the Vice Chancellor, Professor Constantine Nyamboga, together with his team of dedicated staff, have steered this university to heights. In the recent past, the university witnessed an increase in students' enrollment and expansion of its infrastructure, which shows that we are set in ensuring the education quest for our students is achieved. Mr. Chancellor Sir, this year in March 2021, very important events happened in our university, which I must recognize. The first was the launching of the Honorable Justice Kasanga Mulua Foundation. Thanks, Mr. Chancellor, for launching this foundation that has revolutionized the lives of many needy students. The late Justice Kasanga Mulua acknowledged that some members of the society are needy and may miss to realize their educational aspiration, thus remaining disadvantaged forever. To attain this goal, the late Justice supported many children to attend and complete schooling from primary to university levels. The second event was the launching of Justice Kasanga Mulua Memorial Library. The launch of the ultra-modern library has come handy in ensuring that the quest for knowledge for both staff and students is realized. Mr. Chancellor, sir, it is important to note that these two great milestones were attained during the uncertain times of COVID-19. These two milestones have immortalized the founder aspiration of having an educated nation. This is in line with our forefathers' dream of having a country free from hunger, disease, and ignorance. Other key milestones have involved the upgrading of the university infrastructure, which involved students' accommodation, work paths, and common rooms. All of you will agree with me that the university infrastructure has greatly improved over the past few years. As a council, we are living up to our mandate in ensuring that Lukenya University visibility is felt not only locally, but also globally. Allow me to mention that Lukenya University visibility in research is now recognized beyond our borders. The Cassava project, which has already been mentioned, is discussed in the world arena. The university has also expanded its partnership and collaborations. A number of key partners, both locally and globally, have been brought on board. Mr. Chancellor, sir, allow me to underscore the efforts of the BOT members under the able chairmanship of Honorable Senator Sylvia Mwen Kasanga. We are proud of the team that carries the aspirations and dreams of the founders. Through their effort, our university has experienced tremendous expansion, some of which I've already enumerated. Mr. Chancellor, sir, let me congratulate you for providing overall leadership to the university. You have remained steadfast and committed to guiding our university towards realizing its vision and mission. Your distinguished service has made this university be on the map of Kenya and the world at large. Mr. Chancellor, sir, the Council has completed its strategic plan for 2021 to 2026. This strategic plan gives us direction as a university. To ensure that the objectives in the strategic plans are achieved, the Council has signed a performance contract with the Vice Chancellor regarding its targets, and a strategic plan monitoring evaluation framework has been developed. The Vice Chancellor is expected to cascade the performance targets to the faculty members. The university also conducts a periodic performance appraisals to ensure that we are on course to achieve our objectives. To the graduating class, congratulations for your hard work amid these challenges posed by COVID-19 pandemic. I am aware that many of those graduating today had to go through online classes due to COVID-19 pandemic. I congratulate the university for being innovative and progressive in ensuring such a high completion date as we have today. Let me also encourage today's graduates to enroll for further studies awfully at Lukenya University. I believe we have given you the best, and we promise we will continue provided the finest atmosphere to learning, teaching, and research. Once again, congratulations to our graduates for your great achievement. May the Almighty God profusely bless all of you. God bless Lukenya University. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to invite it's my pleasure to invite the BOT Chair, Honorable Senator Sylvia Kasanga, to come and address the congregation.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, our guest speaker today, Professor Fatuma Chege, BOT members, council chair and council members, all national government officials who are here today, county government officials who are here today, the Vice Chancellor of Lukenya University, all other Vice Chancellors who may be here with us here today, the Lukenya University Senate, the Lukenya University Management, and all the other staff members of Lukenya University, all our students, other guests, and of course, most importantly, graduates. God is good all the time. Our graduates, Lukenya hoye, Lukenya eh, Lukenya ah. Congratulations today. You have made us so proud. Your eyes are bright, you have smiles, you look happy, you look beautiful. Thank you so much. Mr. Chancellor, sir, before I go to my official duty, kindly please allow me to do a few other things before that. Let me start by recognizing all our partners here today. First, we have our Bishop, Mwema. Where are you, Bishop? Karibu sana, Bishop. That's our Bishop. A big hand for our Bishop. And any other clergy that we have. We feel very blessed to have you here. Let me recognize our Lukenya schools principals. Please step forward. Our principals, Mr. Ngelu, I think I saw you. I need you to step forward, all of you, just so that we can appreciate you. As you know, our founders, step on this side. There's a fourth estate here. Very well represented. Mr. Chancellor, sir, and our guests, these are some of our principals. We have Mr. Ngelu, who heads the school, the boys' high school for Lukenya. And we have Mr. Alex, who is in charge of the community school. Thank you for being here today. I want to recognize any national government officials. Do we have any security officials, national government? Our chiefs, is there anyone could step forward? We recognize you. Mr. Chancellor, our national government officials in this area are our big partners. They work with us and they help us anytime we need them, including even the Forest Service. They're here whenever we need them at all times, and we thank them. Let me also recognize our county government officials and our members of county assembly. I've seen one of them. You have to come here. Please come here. At least I want you to just say your name and you say congratulations to our graduates, because I know you come here to dance with them once in a while. Please appreciate him.
Thank you. My name is Francis Mwania, the area MCA. Today I'm very proud to be here because those are my colleagues are waiting today. So congratulations and God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. As you know, if you've been following the politics, you know yesterday the Wiper Democratic Movement was having a very big day. So most of us are still, in the honeymoon of our very big achievement that we had yesterday at our National Congress. The Speaker of the County Assembly of Makueni will be joining us, the Honorable Douglas Mbilu. So I hope when he arrives, maybe he'll be able to wave at us. Right. Let me also recognize other partners who work with us, including Peter Mullah, Cooperative Bank, Family Bank, the architects, SICAM Solutions, they're represented here today, KCB, Mutitu Ande, and all other partners. We appreciate you. We are here transforming lives together with you. We can't do it without you, and we continue working with you. If there is anyone else of our friends that have not recognized you here, please know that we are always appreciating you. And in fact, we are looking towards having probably a Founders Day, Mr. Chancellor, within our calendar, where we can have all our friends and partners come and we can celebrate our students together with them, because we are very passionate about that. So, Mr. Chancellor, sir, I will proceed to my duty today, that on behalf of the trustees of the university, we are very proud of you graduates today. As I have said, we are proud of your achievement, and we want to celebrate you, and we continue to celebrate you. And we know you will carry high the flag of Lukenya University in all your endeavors. And I have to say, Osman, when you spoke, and I know you came to greet us and I was a bit distracted, but your speech today was very good. In fact, you took the words out of my mouth. And I will request that his speech, be put in the library for you all to be able to access it. And the same goes to the Lukenya University President. Where are you, Mr. President? We work very closely with the Lukenya University President. We are really proud of the leadership of Lukenya University students. We are I can't even overemphasize. And what happens is that you inspire us, even as BOT, to do more. And we want to do more. We want to partner with you. We want to make your experience here in Lukenya complete and wholesome. So we are dedicated to supporting an enabling environment that gives a wholesome experience to our students. It is a vision of the BOT to have the student of Lukenya University impacted with a high-quality education, to be fully aware of the environment, to nurture the environment, to embrace resilient strategies, and to be fully in charge of their mental wellness. And this is how we shall transform our society and our country. And just to pause there a little and just quote Osman, when he said, please, society depends on you. Graduates, I need to emphasize that our society, our country today depends on you. This future of our country is in your hands. You must be honored for your decency, for your respect, and for your hard work. If we are going to conquer this thing called corruption that you hear all our leaders talking about, it is in your hands and how you conduct yourself. Mr. Chancellor, sir, the university's green philosophy remains at the core of the trustees' worldview. We are fully seized of the global conversation on climate change action. Through the School of Agriculture, which is our flagship program, the trustees support all endeavors to produce agripreneurs and to changing the mindsets of our young people and the future generations towards agribusiness and climate change mitigation and adaptation action. And we really take pride in all our students who are taking part in various projects in line with this green philosophy, and we appreciate the student leadership and the management as well for spearheading the greening of our environment. Mr. Chancellor, the students have a program where they plant trees and they nurture them, each one of them, and we celebrate them for that. And as you know, because the county government officials are not here today because Makueni is hosting the Devolution Conference this year, which is in line with climate change action and adaptation. And I'll assure you that that is a conversation we are fully seized of here in Lukenya University, and we want our students to really adopt all these adaptation strategies. So our theme today, therefore, emphasizes on skills development to support the culture of entrepreneurship. The trustees are cognizant of the challenges in our nation, And we believe that training and empowering entrepreneurs is the answer. Empowering young Kenyans to provide for themselves is a solution to the growing of our economy. And while education remains the most lucrative investment, entrepreneurship is the most effective enabler of combating poverty. The dictates of our time point to paying attention to climate change. And scientific studies today, more than before, underscore that indeed climate change is an existential threat to humanity, with increasing populations facing varying types of vulnerabilities, including floods, famine, food production, and mental wellness. And as the trustees, Mr. Chancellor Sir, we are keen to offer Lukenya University management all necessary tools and support to tap into the opportunities of climate change, what climate change programs offer, as well as fully participate in this conversation. So, our graduates today, as I wind up, entrepreneurship is neither a science nor an art. It is a practice. That is not my quote. It is from Peter Drucker, a successful entrepreneur. And then don't get distracted. Never tell yourself that you need to be the biggest brand in the whole world. Start by working on what you need at the present moment, and then what you need to do tomorrow. So set yourself manageable targets. And as I conclude, please allow me to thank the Governing Council that is chaired by Dr. Daniel Ndonye for their continuous commitment towards achieving the goals of the university strategic plan. The university management, I thank you for being the implementers of our vision. And finally, the trustees, all of you for your continuous engagements. And before I finish, please, Mr. Chancellor, allow me to recognize the Board of Trustee members. Please, if you step forward, trustees, so that we can just recognize you. You need to step forward completely. We recognize you. We have Madame Kavete, Finance. We have Madame Juliana, who does with HR. Dr. Ndambuki, you have seen him around here, all of you, and Ben Kasanga. And of course, our 01 trustee, number 1, Ngiti Mosu. Thank you so much. You may be seated. And as I wind up, Mr. Chancellor Sir, I want to request that our former BOT chair may come and address us and say something small as a founder member. Please, Mama, come. We've seen Mama dancing. She's very happy today. Let us put our hands together for her. Yes, you've been dancing the whole morning. Karibu, Mama.
Thank you, Madam BOT Chair, for inviting me to say a few words. Our Chancellor Sir, Bwana Harris Mullah, former PS Treasury, great friend of the family, and the distinguished economist that he is, Dr. Professor Fatuma Chege, our lovely guest speaker today. Welcome. She knows Ukambani very well now. She has been blocked by a small river which dries up quickly. Our distinguished council chair, Daniel Ndonye, distinguished, again also economist and in the world of business. Our Vice Chancellor, Professor Nyamboga, all distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and our faculty and our lovely students, good afternoon. Good afternoon again. It is just wonderful to be here today on our 3rd graduation. It's such a joy to see young people coming out and going into the world, equipped. Are you equipped to tackle the world? Great. So my joy today, I could sing and dance all day, is to see you become or take your position in the world as you are supposed to. And like the Chancellor says, and he will say it again, I know, you have not read yet. Your degree says you are being given the power to read. And I keep repeating that in every graduation. You have not yet read. You have just been given the power to read. So you are equipped to read. Go out there, become what you are supposed to become, what God has opened for you to become, has shown you a way to become. And like our council chair said, go out there and show that you are now a good entrepreneur in everything you do. May God bless you, and we hope to see you as part of our alumni in the coming years. So thank you very much indeed. Our online audience, I know some of them are my friends, they are watching. Thank you so much, because you are our partners in everything we do. May God bless you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you so much, Mama. A big hand for Mama. Mr. Chancellor, sir, just a little bit out of protocol, but you'll allow me to recognize some very special guests who are here today, courtesy of our council member, Mr. Sachin Shaha. Please, if you could just step forward, Dr. Vijay from Technical University of Kenya, Nairobi, please step forward. We have Dr. John Munguti, Mount Kenya University, here today. We have Professor Pramod Singh from Mount Kenya University. And we have Ram Mehra, who is a businessman and a friend of the late Mzee. Thank you so much. These are very special guests. Dr. Vijay, please raise your hand, is actually helping us with some of what we were just talking about. Our agribusiness, we're looking towards cottage industries that we can use to help our students set up businesses as they come out of school here today, as well as our community at large. Thank you very much. Feel at home and most welcome. We continue to cooperate with you. Thank you. So, Mr. Chancellor, sir, my work is now done. I say God bless Lukenya University. God bless our country, Kenya. Thank you.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, if we complete entertainment and also this program without mashairi, we shall commit an academic mistake. And for that reason, with your permission, sir, allow me to call upon Maenzo Karo, Joshua Limbo, Miss Mwangangi, and the Jakilu team for mashairi and intellectual talk. Thank you, sir. Maenzo. Followed closely Joshua, Miss Mwangangi, and the Jakilu team. Very fast, 2 minutes each.
Naam, nimesimama kidete kuwaleteeni shairi lenye mada pongezi kwa wanaofuzu. Makinika nami hadi tamati, usiende mbali wala usibanduke. Naanza na langu jina, kitambulisho kamili, mzalendo halisia, Lukenya chuo nyumbani. Ni kipi kilichosema kisho tuzwa jamani? Kongoleni mfuzuo, leo ndiyo siku yenu. Mwana kwanza kuzaliwa, kisha kwa nje kukua, mengi mazuri kuona, maarufu kujipea. Mwana kwanza kuzaliwa, kisha kwa nje kukua, mengi mazuri kuona, maarufu kujipea. Chuo chetu kazaliwa, kukua kwake twaona. Kongoleni mfuzuo, leo ndiyo siku yenu. Bila ya kuwasahau waanzilishi wa kongwe, wahadhiri mashuhuri, walojawa ustadi, juhudi zao kutoa, mazao yake twaona. Kongoleni mfuzuo, leo ndiyo siku yenu. Kuyasema sina budi, mengi mloyapitia, mengine hayasemeki. Mwanachuo tuwaelewa, yakiwemo yalo mengi, kukosa hata mankuli. Kongoleni mfuzuo, leo ndiyo siku yenu. Leo ndiyo kuhitimu nyanza zenu tofauti. Kila alojitahidi, haki yake kufurahi. Elimu gali kapewa, kwa maisha kupambana. Kongoleni mfuzuo, leo ndiyo siku yenu. Wasia na waachia, kwa upole na heshima. Uwezo wote mnao, chati zenu kumiliki. Kujiamini lazima, kwa lolote maishani. Kongoleni mfuzuo, kwa heri, kila laheri. Sadaka.
Thank you. Let us appreciate Maenzo. Mr. Chancellor, sir, the next is a student, Joshua Limbo.
Mbele yenu ni mwanagenzi kwa jina Joshua Kalimbo. Nimeleta magani ya kuwapongeza ndugu zetu wanaohafili, na hivi ndivyo nitakavyoanza. Viongozi loasili na salimu hawayuni, wazazi na wahadhiri mlopo shikamooni, wana Lukenya mahiri habari zenu ndani. Leo ni leo Lukenya, msema kesho mwongo. Shairi na gania nina furaha moyoni, wimbo nina waimbia huku na cheza jamani. Tungo nina watungia iwe kwenu burudani. Leo hino siku yenu wahafili na watuza. Lengo la shairi langu muangaze macho mbele, twawatuza wetu ndugu kisomo waende mbele. Ukumbuke ndugu yangu elimu kipaumbele. Leo hino siku yenu wahafili na watuza. Naomba taja wakunyadhifa washikilia, Nyamboga ndiye mkuu, yeye kiti akalia. Kama naibu mkuu Mjele husaidia, Jalali ewe Karima hawa wote uwalinde. Safari lokuwa nayo ukingoni imefika, walimu loishi nao leo hino mwawatoka. Udugu lojenga kwao nao pia wakatika. Mwendako mwende salama, Mwenyezi watangulie. Takamaliza kwa dua kwa jamii ya Lukenya, yake hewa twapumua maovu tusijefanya. Jua paka ukimua wamkaribisha panya. Mola bariki Lukenya izidi kunawirika. Bariki wakurugenzi, bariki na wahadhiri, bariki na wanagenzi, bariki wazazi heri, bariki hawa wapenzi, bariki wepushe shari. Naomba na kuamini tuisemeni amina. Tamati ya tungo yangu Joshua ni nenda zangu, wavyele wadogo wangu walinde Mwenyezi Mungu. Mimi sikupenda kwangu, shairi meisha langu. Kwa heri ninawaaga, jazila tulinde sote.
Mr. Chancellor, sir. Intellectual talk by Miss Mwangangi.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, our chief guest, Professor Fatuma, our BOT chair, our chair council, all distinguished guests, the graduating students, parents, students, good afternoon. My name is Winfred Mwangangi, a tutor from Lukenya College, presenting to you an intellectual talk. Welcome. Who are you? Where did you come from? And why were you born? These are three most questions that every human being is struggling to answer. And Miles Monroe broke it down and tried to help us explain. And the first one is a question of identity. Who? For me, I am all that the Creator had in mind long before He placed me in my mama's womb. And where did I come from? Most of us define where we came from based on our ethnicity groups. Oh, I'm from I'm from UK. Oh, I'm from Australia. But that's wrong. You came from the Creator's mind. He had you before the creations. He knew that you will come on this planet to fulfill a purpose that He placed in you. And why were you born? This is a question of purpose. Why are you here? God had a plan for you to fulfill on this world. And every manufacturer, when they're making a product, they know what that product will do. When they're making phones, they know that this particular phone will make phone calls. They know that you'll use this phone for Google Maps. They know that you'll use this phone for making videos and taking photos. So the manufacturer knows what the phone can do long before he releases it in the market. And so it is with our Creator. He had in you what you can do. He knows what you can't do. And He placed it all in you so that you can fulfill the purpose that He intended. For our graduating students, we are celebrating you today. And we thank God for your endurance, for your hard work, and you've made it this far. We celebrate you today. May God bless you. May God increase you. And I pose a challenge unto you. Today we are celebrating you as a team, but we want to celebrate you as an individual. The same way we celebrate our mama, Mulua, because of the dream and the idea that she had. We are here because she had a dream. We are celebrating her because she pursued a dream. She pursued her purpose. And today, the Lukenya community is here because she found her purpose. And Mama, we celebrate you. Every solution that is needed in the world
It is carried by one of you. Each one of us carries a solution that the world needs. And it's upon us to discover what this solution you carry. And the moment you discover it, we will celebrate you. The same way we celebrate Larry and Brim for coming up with Google that helps us in almost all our areas in life. The same way we celebrate Mark for coming up with Facebook. The same way we celebrate Martin Luther King for standing and defending people and believing that all people are equal. I challenge you, graduating students, that you find who you are, where you came from, and why you're here. Thank you.
The next group, Chakilu. Shairi group, please hurry up. Thank you.
Na wajulisheni leo, ukiona vyaelea chama cha Kiswahili Lukenya cha Kilu, twawaletea shairi lenye mada makinikeni nasi hadi tamati.
Sisi tunapenda masomo, lazima tutafili. Anapatiwa heshima kwa kunena bila haya. Nyinyi ni watu wazima. Hamjui mambo haya. Sisi tunapenda masomo, lazima tutafili. Kusoma bila shaka. Tusome bila hatufai. Sisi tunapenda masomo, lazima tutafili. Eti tumebeba, tulitumia akili kujitoa. Nishowe tukapata elimu yake.
Ngoja, hatujamaliza.
Maarufu, kikosi kikamilifu, wabunifu, maradufu, watiifu, wazoefu, na hiyo ndo yetu wasifu. Chama cha Kiswahili Lukenya cha Kilu. Shabash.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, that is the climax of entertainment. And I request you to join the congregation in applauding the total. Let us appreciate them. Mr. Chancellor, sir, allow me to call upon the Vice Chancellor to come forward and proceed with the ceremony.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, allow me to invite the guest speaker to address the congregation. As the guest speaker comes, our today's guest speaker is Professor Fatuma Chege, who is a professor of education, and most of the time she's more associated with the philosophy of education, sociology of education, qualitative research methods, and our specialty is gender and education area. She has been, those who have gone to Kenyatta University, she has been a big name there until the other day that the government recognized that she must be part of the policy. She is currently in charge of the implementation of this famous CBC. Professor, welcome and address the congregation.
Thank you very much, Bona Vice Chancellor, Professor Nyamboka, for having me. Assalamu alaikum. Wa assalamu alaikum. God is good and all the time. Mr. Chancellor, sir, Mr. Harris Mullah, who I remember was my chancellor at Kenyatta University before coming here. It's nice to see you again in that same position. Governors, members of parliament, other state officers, the chairperson of the Board of Trustees, Honorable Senator Sylvia Kasanga, and members of the BOT, the chairperson of the University Council, Mr. Daniel Ndonye, and members of University Council, the Vice Chancellor of Lukenya University, Professor Constantine Nyaboga, the founders of this wonderful university, the late Justice Kasanga Mulua and his wife, Mrs. Mother Mulua, who I met last evening, and I'm looking forward to engage even more and continue lifelong learning from you, madam. All protocols observed. Our most esteemed 2021 graduates, you have been told that today is just the beginning of your life. It's not the end. Your leadership and your president has spoken here today, very important words of wisdom. Distinguished invited guests, good morning once again. I would like to start by first of all appreciating the entertainment that I have enjoyed here today. The Vice Chancellor has given my credentials, but I would want to reveal here today that my diploma in education, as well as my bachelor's in education, I was a student of music and dance, and my other subject was Kiswahili. So you can imagine how much I have been entertained here by these wonderful students. And I can tell you from that professional background, the dance and the music that was here was authentic. I have been an adjudicator of music, I can tell you. When I heard the Kalenjin sing and I heard Kongoi Lukenya instead of Lukenya, I knew it was authentic. I also, I think, found the Kisi dance. I looked at the energy. That was my hardest dance to do. You need to have eaten a lot of ugali and lisaga. So the energy, I saw it and I knew this was authentic. Thank you very much and congratulations. And then the famous Camber Dance, I looked at the steps, I listened to the music. very authentic, and it reminded me that as a music students, we would dance Kilume. And one of the things that had to be there was the whistle, which I had, and the drum. We can now we can den. I knew it was authentic. So congratulations and thank you very much. When we are called in as keynote speakers, what we take away, we bring the speech. What we take away is the experience. And I'm going to take away some very, very wonderful experience. You have been told my area of specialization is gender and education. So when I hear girl child and boy child, my ears and eyes are wide open. So that is very good to note that the university has a gender lens in everything that it does. And I want to congratulate the student speakers, and particularly that boy child who stood up to demonstrate that Lukenya University is gender sensitive. Both girls and boys are putting their best foot forward. Dear graduates, accept my special greetings. And I want to say this very special good afternoon. It's not good. Good afternoon, graduates. How are you, Ni? Thank you very much. I'm extremely humbled to stand before you this morning as a keynote speaker at this auspicious third graduation ceremony of Lukenya University. I must thank you, Mr. Vice Chancellor, for this invitation that has given me a wonderful experience of this institution, not only in its physical infrastructure, but also the human and social experience that I have witnessed here in the morning and this afternoon. I've listened carefully to the resilience that has brought this university to where it is, and I must congratulate the founders and the BOT, the council, the university management, the Senate, and all the lecturers and the students for this wonderful, wonderful state of the university. For the graduates, you are the reason we are gathered here today, and without you, we would not have this ceremony. There would be no reason for us to come here. We have traveled far and wide to be part of your memorable day, and you are worthy the time and the jubilations that we are engaged in today. I would like to tell you, graduates, there is nothing that moves a parent more, and now I speak as a parent, to witness what we are witnessing here. To see you dance, to see you recite mashairi, to see you getting your certificates, diplomas, and degrees. Because what it does to a parent is to give them hope in their twilight years that when they are not there, their generation will continue. For the lecturers and the university, it's also a very moving moment, graduates, to see this day, because it is an evidence of the work that they have engaged with you. And therefore, as professional educators, as parents, and for me as a state officer in the Ministry of Education, we do not take graduation of our children lightly. We take it very seriously, and it's time for us to celebrate. It is also a wonderful moment for me today, as it marks my first professional engagement with Lukenya University fraternity, and I believe that it's not gonna be the last. I know I have been promised. On my left was sitting a lady that I'm very fond of, Miss Kasanga. She has been whispering things, and I knew I have not seen anything yet. So she has promised that I will see more if I keep this relationship. She was a member of the task force, the famous CBC task force. She was one of my most committed, insightful, and visionary member. And when I was appointed, she brought her whole team of Kenya Association of Private Schools to come, and we had a very good meeting. I think it was 3 hours. So I have been promised. On my right was sitting the chair, Bwana Daniel. He was also whispering things and telling me, you haven't seen anything. If you are just enjoying the dance and the mashairi, when you finish speaking today, don't leave without moving around. He even told me there is a river down there and other things that I'm supposed to experience. And I want to rise to the challenge and go with a fuller story than what I knew. Let me begin, Mr. Chancellor, sir, by my impression of Lukenya University. Allow me to confess that this is my first time actually to set foot in this part of the country. No wonder I went through the route that has a river that floods. And I was being told there is another route. So I said on my way back, I have to use the other route. It's my first time. And I feel hugely privileged for my host to think of giving me this historical moment so that I can continue with lifelong learning as we are told in the Sustainable Development Goals. Let me confess to you today, I had no idea that after driving over a river that was flowing and I didn't want to demonstrate to my driver that I'm scared, I had no idea after going through the dry bushes along the way that I would emerge into an institution of this great impression that I have got, that is green. And you can imagine that it rains every day after going through that. And it's way located outside the town, very far from town. And I remember even commenting in the vehicle and said, now, if I have a university-going child, wangu wamemaliza, I was saying this is the place I would bring them. Congratulations. The hard work that has gone in this establishment, the hard work that has gone on in training these two graduates here today, and looking at the greenery, it tells me that after hard work, it's a nice place to relax. So I believe the students have everything. I may not know how you have managed the BOT and the entire fraternity here. I may not know how you have managed to have this kind of environment. I may not be given the password because I know it's your top secret. But what I know is that after getting through the password, one of the ingredients must be hard work, dedication, and the love you have for Lukenya University. That one I can be sure to say. I dare say that what I have seen is a powerful demonstration of living true to your university philosophy, of embracing green philosophy which fosters the use of innovative technologies in global security, energy, sustainability, health, and universal health education. Yours has created an award-winning environment, and I would only urge you to keep going higher, keep it up, don't relax. And for me, as Fatuma Chege, I will continue watching this space because I believe you are going far. My attention has been drawn to the fact This university offers agriculture as its flagship program, which is a most brilliant thing to do by portraying the institution's commitment to operationalizing one of the big four agendas of this country, namely food security. To put this good practice is truly it is worth emulating. It bears witness to the university's ability to be self-sustaining in terms of produce for both university, fraternity, and the local community. One of the mandates of a university is to teach, do research, relevant research, and offer community service. And this is very evident from what I have seen of this university. Also noteworthy is that the university has been in the headlines of the news, and it has been mentioned here, which we saw in KTN and read in the Standard newspaper, particularly regarding the cassava project. This project further serves as evidence of the decisive contribution that Lukenya University is making towards the realization of the agenda, Big Four agenda for food security. Many people may not know how much this drought-resistant crop, how much value it has in health benefits, including myself. I didn't know that muhogo. I had to surf the internet to see what it means. The cassava, which we popularly call muhogo, and which was highlighted in the news as a project, is consistent with semi-arid lands like these ones, and therefore it is one of the food crops that we need to invest in food security. And when I talk about muhogo, it reminds me, it gives me my childhood memories when we would be made to pound dried muhogo and makes very sticky ugali for my father because he considered it a delicacy with greens. By that time, I didn't know there were health benefits. Today, I know better. I eat muhogo wa kuchemsha, muhogo wa kukaanga, wa kuchoma, and therefore I would urge this university to uplift those traditional foods because the market is there. We are learning the values that are in these traditional foods. Mr. Chancellor, sir, ladies and gentlemen, I wish to reveal that through my interaction with the Vice Chancellor, Professor Nyamboga, I learned that the university student enrollment is on an upward trajectory. This is commendable, considering in this day and age, many universities are recording a downward trend. So I would like to congratulate you on that. I'm also informed that the Lukenya University offers considerable number of market-driven programs ranging from certificates to postgraduate levels. I have looked at the programs, I have studied the schools, and I know should I ever need a job here, I would be in the School of Education and Social Sciences. Also, I could not help but notice the infrastructural development of the university, which presents an amazing state of the art of the Justice Kasanga Mulua Library. And I would like to tell the students and everybody, a university without a library means nothing. Because as educators, we know that what is important. What is important is the way we are able to motivate the students to learn by themselves, learning to learn. So without a library, the students will always be waiting for those notes that were mentioned here, and they will never go beyond the levels of their lecturers. We want the young people to go beyond us, to look at us, and be determined and motivated beyond where we are. I'm also informed that Lukenya University prides in adequate accommodation facilities for both staff and students. And I know from what I have seen, you will need to increase this because kule tunaenda na habari njema. So you have some work to do in that accommodation. Considering that the institution is relatively young, I want to say many kudos and words of appreciation to the BOT members, the University Council, and the entire management. They will remain on record, not only for good work of establishing such an impressive institution, but for the evidence of huge investments that I have seen here today, although I am told I haven't seen enough. I must say to you, the graduates who are sitting here, that you are very lucky to be part of the students that have gone through this university. You've had an opportunity that many other young Kenyans have not had. So please do not take it for granted. Lukenya University has branded you. You are a brand of Lukenya University. Please carry that brand with you and do not be embarrassed to show it off because it's a good brand from what I have seen. I have also looked at the theme of this graduation, and having been a lecturer, I know generating a theme for graduation is not one of the simple things. It takes a lot of thinking from all the schools. It has to be agreeable. It has to be put forward to the Senate to be interrogated and taken now to the council to put a tick. And when I look at it, it's building a culture of entrepreneurship founded on skilled manpower, or what we call human resource. And I have seen your partners fronted here who believe in this theme and who believe in the vision of this university. And I must congratulate you for that. I believe that the spirit of this theme is an articulation of the spirit of this university in preparing its graduates wholesomely with not only the requisite skills, but also the knowledge, the right attitudes to face the world of work with total confidence and professionalism while managing life challenges with courage and tact. Mr. Chancellor, sir, allow me to focus on my pet subject, which is the CBC. Now, this new state department to which I was appointed, there are many people who even don't know its name. Some of them call it the Department of CBC, so the PS is the PS for CBC. Others call it the Department of Curriculum Transformation, so that is the PS of Curriculum Transformation. Others just say the new department in the Ministry of Education, so she is the new PS there. This, as has been mentioned by the VC, is the State Department for implementation of curriculum reforms. Now, these reforms are driven by the spirit of CBC, competency-based curriculum. The competency-based curriculum is anchored around competencies, students being able to do when they graduate. That is the spirit, not students being able to talk about. That is one thing, or to regurgitate, but actually go beyond that and demonstrate that they are able to do something based on their knowledge and skill acquired in university. That's the spirit of the CBC, and that spirit has implication on the entire education system, from pre-primary, vidatu vya chekechea. It has, because they have to learn through the CBC. It has implication for primary, for secondary, tertiaries, including teachers' colleges and TVETs, and the university. So anywhere I get an opportunity to speak, I like clarifying that. And I want to say that I'm really pleased to learn that Lukenya University is at the forefront of supporting the reforms under the CBC. Your Vice Chancellor, Professor Nyamboga, was among the Vice Chancellors who participated in a seminar that was organized by the Commission for University Education to address what role should universities play in the ongoing curriculum reforms. Now, having said that these reforms implicate the entire system, it means universities have to start positioning themselves, looking at their curricula, their courses, their programs in relation to what is happening at the basic level. Because those graduates who will come into the university in year 2029 will have come from a culture of CBC, and you don't want them to have a shock. So this is the time, and I'm happy that your VC attended that seminar, and he knows what we are talking about. In February this year, the State Department for Implementation of Curriculum was established by the President, and the President gave directives of the functions of that State Department. Later, a written 12-point function was given to our department after I was appointed in May. And one of those 12 functions relates to the universities and tertiaries. And it says this, I quote, one of those functions is to coordinate harmonious implementation of the competency-based curriculum reforms at all levels of the education system, from primary, pre-primary, primary, secondary, tertiaries, including universities, end of quote. Out of those 12 functions, we were also told in function number 8 to jointly with higher education institutions of learning and stakeholders to prepare and roll out a plan for rationalizing and migrating university education towards competency-based curriculum. That's from the Office of the President. And therefore, I would like to just state that with that, we are joined at the hip, Mr. Chancellor, sir, with this new State Department. I can confirm with confidence here that the University for Commission, University for Education, Commission for University Education through its CEO, the Professor Mwenda, plus the State Department for University Education and Research, that these two offices have been working with us step by step, and they have been very, very supportive. They have provided their officers to sit in our multi-agency technical committee, which is a good sign that we are in good hands. Mr. Chancellor, sir, ladies and gentlemen, allow me now to share a paragraph from His Excellency the President when he established this State Department. He said, and I quote, "The 844 curriculum became inconsistent with the aspiration of our growing nation, particularly because of its overloaded curriculum and its academic examination-focused approach. Similarly, it provided rigid and was unforgiving to the learner who did not fit to that traditional mold, a mold that placed inordinate emphasis on content as opposed to competencies. It emphasized raw knowledge as opposed to hands-on skills. And as we begin to re-engineering this traditional system, we have to look at the foundational principles of the session of paper number 10 of 1965. The spirit of this anchor instrument was simple, that citizens do not fail. It is systems that fail the citizens. And if the systems are inconsistent with the aspirations of the people, they must be changed, and we are at the tipping point of this change. It requires us to be bold and not rigid. It calls us to imagine a system that creates responsible citizens as opposed to subjects, a system that celebrates and creates potential for all our children, as opposed to one that leaves some of them labeled as failures, and a system that brings freedom as opposed to conformity. And therefore, when universities are looking at what is happening at the basic education level now, it is important to remember the spirit that is driving that transformation. We want to have workers and not subjects. Mr. Chancellor, sir, ladies and gentlemen, the important thing for us to note, without going to great details, is the fact that content of learning never changes. What happens in reforms is that we reform the way we teach that content. For example, the geography of Makueni County shall not change with CBC. It will be the same. And so will the history of this very esteemed university. Its history won't change. It is the way that we will teach it. 12 times 12, depending on the base you use, will not change anywhere in the world. It's the way you give learners the experience of that. And therefore, from content, we must focus on competences where learners learn to self-drive themselves, to be exploratory, and to discover. They have to learn to be with others cooperatively. We have seen them dancing all cultural dances here without wondering where one is coming from, and that's what we are talking about here. We have to focus on the pedagogy, the way we facilitate learning. We have to rethink assessment so that it's not just reproduction of knowledge. It is a question of what the learner is able to do, building on that and assessing the growth of that knowledge and ability to do. Those reforms include the structure, spending more learning time in secondary school and less learning time in primary school, developing teacher capacity, and importantly, on parental empowerment and engagement. Mr. Chancellor, sir, I would like to turn to the parents about this particular issue. In the task force, which people call the task force for CBC, we recommended parental empowerment and engagement. So if you are a guardian or a parent of these students or the graduates sitting here, the CBC says you have a role to be engaged throughout the learning career of your children. And we have observed that parents along the way become disengaged from that God-given duty. Many of them are afraid of their children, imagining that their children now know more than they do. There is no child that will ever know more about life than their parents. So we recommended parental empowerment and engagement, and I do hope that in Lukenya University, we can have some space to allow, once in a while, depending on what you think, where parents can come and engage with what goes on here so that they appreciate that their children are not in another planet. They are in a space that has been created for them to become parents and citizens of tomorrow. So with that, I would like now to turn to the graduates. Mr. Chancellor, sir, allow me to say a few words to these graduates. And I want to say, while it is important to know where you are coming from. And tumesikia hapa, we have been told that we say that intellectual talk. We come, I don't know from where, I come from Kisii, I come from, I don't know, Mount Kenya, and so on and so forth. It is important to know where we are coming from. And for you graduates, right now, you are coming from Lukenya University. You will graduate as its graduate. However, it is equally important to have a vision of where you are going to join the world. Having left formal schooling myself at what we used to call Form 2, and having done an examination that was called Kenya Junior Secondary Examination, and from there trained as a teacher and was in class teaching at the age of 17, that was important for me and for my parents because that's the best they could have done for me. However, that was not the end of my life. It was the beginning of the next phase of my life. So I would like to say to you here, you are graduating with your certificates, diplomas, and degrees. Please consider that not as an end in itself. Not going to the village and reminding people, mimi niko na degree, nimetoka kampo, I don't know what. That is actually the first step to the rest of your life. It is the beginning of the rest of your life. When I look at the hopefulness in your faces, I have no doubt whatsoever that this university has prepared you for exactly that, with the best education, and that it has inculcated in you entrepreneurial and technical skills, as well as values and life skills that are appropriate to make you fit for purpose. So as you graduate here today, that will be what the world will be looking at. Are you fit for purpose? For us on this side, including myself, I believe you are fit for purpose. The challenge is for you to convince the world when you step out there that you are actually fit for the purpose, that you are trained. Please consider what you have learned as something that the world is looking forward to receive from you as a worthy citizen. Go out there and place yourself appropriately. All of us seated here, including your parents and guardians, we need all of you to join us in building our nation for posterity. Dear graduates, please note that whatever I have explained about the implementation of curriculum reforms, that you will also be implicated as Kenyans and as parents to be, or those who are already parents, you will have a role to play in those curriculum reforms, because we have said that requires parental empowerment and engagement. You have to be empowered to fit in this new dispensation. This CBC has a vision that I would like to share with everybody, Mr. Chancellor, sir. The vision is to have a graduate who is engaged in whatever skills and knowledge they have been given. They are also empowered to carry it through, and they are also ethical. The triple E's: engaged, empowered, and ethical. Graduates, just say that. Engaged, empowered, and again, bas. That will be the standard of measurement. And the last one of ethical is a vision that has troubled Kenyans for a long time. And we are saying that the issue of moral ethics, social ethics, religious ethics must remain at the core of the vision of our students. In addition, I would want to persuade you to create a strategy for success in life as you position yourself in the world. First of all, by now, you should have defined yourself. Don't wait for people to define you. Define yourself as a business entrepreneur, as an educator, number one. If you don't put yourself number one in whatever you have been trained for, people will define you. Watasema wewe ni nyakimincha, and so on. So move from here, having defined yourself as number one in what you have learned. Define your objectives in life. Know where you are, what you want to be, and at what time you want to be that which you want to be, according to God's will. Identify the milestones that will get you where you want to be. I can tell you, when I was doing a diploma in education after having taught in primary school, I looked at two professors who are teaching philosophy of education. They are both late, Professor Gerard Benaz and Professor Njoroge. And they would be talking up there, and my mind would tell me, I really would want to be like one of these professors. You must try getting your vision. Then ask yourself, to get there, what are the milestones I need to cover? That's when I learned you have to do, I don't know, a first degree, a second degree. So you ask, what does first degree mean? What does second degree? You know, you have to define and start analyzing the milestones that will take you there. Then start moving. Put your strategies in place. Ensure that your strategies are reasonable, they are well timed, and that they will not frustrate you, that you have what it takes to cover those milestones. Importantly, never arrive at one milestone and mistake it to be the destination. At umefika milestone ya kwanza, then you start relaxing, umasema utafika. I wanted to become like one of those professors. And therefore, after working backwards and seeing what I needed to do, there was no way I reached the first milestone and said, I have arrived. Please, never arrive until the good Lord calls you home. That is when you say, Lord, I have come, I have arrived. Every day of your life, please try to become. Every day you are becoming better than you are. Be true to your values. Choose your friends wisely. And keep only those who add value to you. Make and keep important contacts as you leave this place. You have met so many of your peers. Choose them wisely. Keep and use the contacts of only those who can add value to your life. That's really, really important. Always seek to share information. Always seek to know before you speak. Keep your mentors close, and your life coaches, keep them close. You have teachers here who have been your mentors. They have coached you along. It is for you to keep them close to you. It's not for them to come looking for you. There is nothing that pleases your mentor or your coach than knowing that their mentee is keeping them abreast, telling them, this is what I'm doing now, this is what I'm planning, and so on and so forth. Make every experience a learning experience. Hata pale nilikuwa nimeketi, I was observing what was going on, and I was asking myself, what am I learning? I am learning ABCD about the culture of this university by looking at the activities going around. Avoid wasting time, because time is a precious commodity, and when you lose it, you will not get it back. As you graduate here today, dear graduates, the fact is that some of you will get employed, others will employ themselves, others will be in private sector or public sector, What matters is what you are doing with the degree or certificate or diploma that you're getting that will impress the field that you will be joining. Wherever you will be, it will be necessary to learn the culture of that place. Don't arrive there that because you are a fresh graduate and then you are going there to show everybody that you know more than they know. I will tell you what one teacher told us one time many years ago. When you go to a new place, use your eyes a lot, use your ears a lot. What do you use least? Huh? Nyama ya ulimi. He told us use it the least. And every time when leaving class, he would tell us, remember, when you graduate, then we would start now telling him, we would say, hey, use your ears, use your eyes, talk nothing. So every time we knew he will end the class like that. And that way, you learn the culture of work. You know where you are best in and where to come in. You know when to speak and when not to speak, when to offer ideas and what sorts of ideas. So when you leave here today, please do that and continue everywhere you go. Continue flying the Lukenya flag high and demonstrate its good culture as an alma mater. Show the best of this institution. When you leave here today, you'll find many options about where and how to work and how to spend your time. Interrogate those options closely before you make your decisions. Always weigh carefully the options that come to you. Make the choices that you fulfill, that will help you to fulfill your mission in life and your vision for yourself and for your country and your community. As refined entrepreneurs from the School of Commerce, please let that be what you carry forward and give the best impression of that. As an accomplished dry land agriculturalist, let us see through the competencies of what you do out there, not just talking about dry land agriculture. It is what you do with that certificate or degree that we need to see. As a teacher from the School of Education and Social Sciences, you have to come out from here seeing yourself as an outstanding teacher and let the world confirm that you're an outstanding teacher. And if you are doing health, as a most ethical and caring health professional. Dear graduates, I want to end this by asking you that when you get into a new job and you are the newest kid in the block, like myself, I'm the newest kid in the Ministry of Education, refrain from being a know-it-all, but rather be a learner. Present yourself as a learner. As much as you know a lot and you have a lot of skills, also present yourself as a person who wants to understand that place. Wherever you go and whatever you do, you are doing it not only for yourself, but for your community, your society, and your country. Remember that character, that bit of the 3 E's, being ethical. When it is lost, we are told everything will be lost. So endeavor to be an upright citizen who is law-abiding, emotionally balanced, and mindful of others. And this way you will not go wrong because opportunities will be working. Today is actually your day, and I wish you very well in your future endeavors. And I thank you for listening to me for those minutes. And may God bless you all and your families and friends. Thank you very much. And God bless Lukenya University and the Lukenya University community. Thank you very much.
Let's appreciate Professor, appreciate her. She's a wonderful state officer, a great mother. I think, again, those who are keen, you must have gained a lot. As I call the most important guest, I would request that all of you, as he's coming, all of us will stand or will be upstanding until he reaches here. I'm saying, I'm going back again and saying, Mr. Chancellor, sir, it's my honor to request you to address the congregation. Mr. Chancellor, all of us must stand as is he coming. Give him a clap. Remember, he's an midst of a difference. Those many years he was a PS Treasury, and he's quite knowledgeable. Get seated.
Thank you very much, Mr. Vice Chancellor. I am really a very happy Chancellor this afternoon. And before I talk more about my happiness, let me welcome you, beginning by welcoming our honored guest, Professor Fatuma Chege, the chairperson of the Board of Trustees, Senator Sylvia Kasanga, members of the Board of Trustees, the chairman of the University Council, Mr. Daniel Donye, and members of the University Council, Vice Chancellor of Lukenya University, staff members, students, graduates, parents, guardians, ladies and gentlemen. I said I'm very happy today because this is the third graduation of Lukenya University. And those who are privileged to be in the first graduation and are attending this third graduation cannot but be impressed by the remarkable progress which this university has made in a span of 3 years. In particular, the university enrollment, which less than 3 years ago was around 600-700, and now it is 2,000. That is a major achievement, like our guest of honor has highlighted. Because of that achievement, all of us should be very proud of this university. Secondly, the speeches which were made today by all of the previous speakers were really world-class speeches. And I'm talking about all of the speakers. I liked very much the progress report which the Vice Chancellor made about how far the university has gone in those 3 years, and some of the achievements in research in particular, which the university has attained. I would like to congratulate the staff of the university for undertaking those research efforts and coming up with those wonderful results. My statements, therefore, as a chancellor today will not be to read a speech to you, but rather as a vote of thanks. Vote of thanks to those who have brought us to where we are. And I'll begin by thanking and congratulating the entertainers, the young men and women and children from the community school and the students at this university for the entertainment, the mashairis, the cultural effort which they made. That really was great. Our students and those who entertained us. It shows that actually, without us thinking about it, that Lukenya University has got a potential of becoming a cultural center. Yeah. Secondly, I would like to thank the best overall student, Abib, for first of all making Lukenya University compliant of our 1/3 requirement of the Constitution, because up to last year we were not compliant of the gender rule, but Abib, you made us compliant, and you also gave a very good speech. Congratulations. Third, the chairman of BAT, chairperson of BAT, you reminded us about what Lukenya University is all about, which is green philosophy, which currently is the most important and existential topic in the world. And you told us that the BOT and university itself will focus on green philosophy and environment, which means that we are on the right track. Fourth, can I please thank Dolores Mulua? Where is she? Thank you, Dolores, for bringing our guest of honor. Today is the second time we have had a commencement speaker. And in my life, I have attended many graduation ceremonies. The commencement speech, which Professor Chege presented to us, was really mind-boggling. I was very happy to know that in our earlier life, we had some connection. And that made me very proud. But what I'm not very happy about is that looking at my speech, which I was going to make, I covered the themes which you yourself did. And I did not cover those themes as well as you did. Your speech, Madam Permanent Secretary, was philosophical, it was practical, it was full of words of wisdom, and you gave wonderful advice to the graduates, to the students, to the staff members. and to everybody who is here today. And all that I can ask is that those of us, and especially the students, who listened very carefully to what a professor had to say, have internalized what she said and are going to use what she said as guideline to your future. With those few remarks, I will ask Vice Chancellor just to take my few statements here for the record purposes, and to let the Vice Chancellor know and all of you know that this has been a wonderful, wonderful graduation ceremony. We have had wonderful words of advice from all of the speakers, and especially underline the words of advice which were given to us by Professor Chege. So to the graduates, the students, in occasions like this, speakers tell you that you are the leaders of the future. My parting word to you as you graduate today is that you are leaders of today. To become a leader, you don't have to be like Professor Chege. You get there ultimately, especially if you follow her advice. But to be a leader is to lead in your sphere where you are, either as a family man, as a husband or wife, or as a participant in civil society, in electing members of parliament and other leaders. You are being empowered to think, to understand the environment, and that knowledge which you have is what empowers you to be a leader. So take your leadership. I wish you well and success in your endeavors. Thank you very much.
As Chancellor leaves this place, let us keep standing. Keep standing. Before I hand over, I have also to tell you something that the Chancellor did not tell you before he sits, that the Chancellor has nurtured a number of other prominent Kenyans. One of them is they worked closely with Senior Obama, not of course Junior Obama. He has also worked closely, the other time I was sharing with Professor Nyang', who worked under him. And that time, those who come from Western Nyanza, he worked closely with Dr. Sakaria Onyonka.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, allow me to call upon the Deputy Vice Chancellor to come forward and give the order of awards.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, I have the honor to call upon BOT Chairperson to present awards to the following students in various categories. As she comes along to the awardees, the moment I mention your name, kindly come forward to the dais. Madam BOT, please. Best Student Overall, Mazinge Othman Habib. Bachelor of Arts Education, Kurgat Masi. Bachelor of Education Science, Odhiambo Patricia. Bachelor of Education, Early Childhood, Lavuta David. Bachelor of Science in Dryland Agriculture, Mutuku Mary. Bachelor of Commerce, Intinyari Lispa. Bachelor of Arts in Community Development, once again Mazinge Othman. Most disciplined student, male, Abednego Wambua. Disciplined student, female, Isaac Zena. Best in sports, male, Malongo. Best in sports, female, Olivia Osomo. Best in commerce, finance, Bonaya Juliet. Best in commerce, accounting, Onyango John. Best diploma student in academics, Waema Daniel. Finally, best certificate student in academics, Alio Abdia. Madam BOT Chair, these are your students who deserve some present from you.
So on behalf of the trustees of the university, I wish to congratulate you heartily for your achievements here today. And Mr. Chancellor, sir, if you'll allow me, I'd like to call the county speaker of, the speaker of the County of Assembly of Makueni to come here and help me to congratulate these special students now that he's already here. Honorable Speaker, come here. I want you first to congratulate you on your behalf first.
Thank you very much, BOT Chair and Chancellor and the Academia Fraternity. I take this opportunity to pass congratulatory messages to you, aware that I have 9 graduates from County Assembly of Makueni who are MCAs seated here, and therefore I wish you all the best in line with the theme that has been presented. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So the BOT always preserves a very special gift for distinguished, we call it the reward for distinguished academic achievement. And this year it goes to Musinge Othman Habib. Please step forward. Let us give him a round of applause. To encourage you to move on, the Board of Trustees gives you 1 semester scholarship back here in Lukenya University for your master's program. We also offer you a job opportunity as a fellow tutorial. Most welcome and congratulations. And for the rest, we have something that shall give to you, and congratulations. Thank you very much. Could I request Madam PS, our guest speaker, please come and take a picture with our distinguished students as well? Thank you very much.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, by virtue of Lukenya University Statute 24, Part 1, the university has power to award certificates, diplomas, and confer degrees.
Mr. Salazar, in the 2020-2021 academic year, 449 candidates certified the respective boards of examiners and the University Senate for the conferment of various degrees and award of diplomas and certificates of Lukenya University. Mr. Allow me to call upon the Dean, School of Agriculture and Technical Studies, Dean, School of Business and Economics, and Dean, School of Education and Social Science to present their candidates for the award of respective certificates and diplomas and conferment of degrees. Mr. Chancellor, sir, we shall start with the School of Agriculture and Technical Studies.
Will the candidates who will be receiving various certificates of Lukenya University in the School of Agriculture and Technical Studies rise once called and remain standing until the Chancellor awards the certificates? Mr. Chancellor, sir, it is now my honor to present to you candidates for the award of various certificates of Lukenya University. Artisan in Food and Beverage, credit, Mulua. Certificate in Food and Beverage, credit, Wambua, Muikali. Certificate in General Agriculture, credit, Ado, Alio, Haji Aidan, Haji Zakaria, Kanyare, Kasioka, Kero, Kiriga, Kialo, Maalim, Munyunzu, Mursal. Pass, Ibrahim, Gele, Isaac.
Will the candidates who will be receiving various certificates of Lukenya University in the School of Business and Economics rise once called and remain standing until the Chancellor awards the certificates? Mr. Chancellor, sir, it is now my honor to present to you candidates for the award of various certificates of Lukenya University. Certificate in Information Communication Technology, credit, Chefwa, Kingo, Mteti, Ndandu, Paul, Wanje. Pass, Aptifata, Isadin, Juma, Keno, Chalo, Musemi, Mutua, Mutuku Charity, Mutuku Ian, Ndeto, Newton, Nguku, Samuel. Certificate in Administration and Governance, Oswago.
By my authority and that of the entire university, I award you the respective certificates for which you have been educated, trained, examined, and qualified.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, allow me to call upon once again the Dean School of Agriculture and Technical Studies, Dean School of Business and Economics, and Dean School of Education and Social Sciences to present their candidates for the award of respective diplomas of Lukenya University.
Will the candidates who will be receiving various diplomas of Lukenya University in the School of Agriculture and Technical Studies rise once called and remain standing until the Chancellor awards the diplomas? Mr. Chancellor, sir, it is now my honor to present to you candidates for the award of various diplomas of Lukenya University. Diploma in General Agriculture. Credit: Aidan, Kungua, Chalo, Kengo, Mbulu, Michael, Muasia, Mukeke, Mulinge, Musa, Mutie, Mutinda, Mutunga, Mwanza, Ngao, Suleka, Wamuyu. Pass: Maithia, Masesi, Muya, Mtaiti, Ndunda, Peter, Ruben, Robert.
Will the candidates who will be receiving various diplomas of Lukenya University in the School of Business and Economics rise once called and remain standing until the Chancellor awards the diplomas? Mr. Chancellor, sir, it is now my honor to present to you candidates for the award of various diplomas of Lukenya University. Diploma in Information Communication Technology, distinction, Waema Daniel. Credit, Katumbi, Kioko, Matoke, Mudoka James, Mudoka Shiter, Ndanu, Ngui, Rose. Diploma in Administration and Governance. Credit, Oteyo, Kenga, Abuya, Kinyor, Mutua, Angima, Jacqueline, Nyakenyanya. Pass, Owiti, Makoteng, Odera, Obuya, Oyongo.
School of Education and Social Sciences. Will the candidate who will be receiving diploma of Lukenya University in the School of Education and Social Sciences rise once called and remain standing until the Chancellor awards the diploma? Mr. Chancellor, sir, it's now my honor to present to you candidate for the award of Diploma of Lukenya University. Diploma in Social Work and Community Development. Credit, Mitan.
By my authority and that of the entire university, I award you the respective diplomas for which you have been educated, trained, examined, and qualified.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, allow me to call upon the Dean School of Agriculture and Technical Studies, Dean School of Business and Economics, and Dean School of Education and Social Sciences to present their candidates for the conferment of respective degrees of Lukenya University.
Will the candidates who will be receiving various degrees of Lukenya University in the School of Agriculture and Technical Studies rise once called and remain standing until the Chancellor confers the degrees? Mr. Chancellor, sir, it is now my honor to present to you candidates for the conferment of various degrees of Lukenya University. Bachelor of Science in Dryland Agriculture. First class honors, Mutuku Mary Mino. Second class honors, Upper Division, Musembi Odula. Second class honors, Lower Division, Kimanthi Merol.
Will the candidates who will be receiving various degrees of Kenya University in the School of Business and Economics rise once called and remain standing until the Chancellor confers the degrees? Mr. Chancellor, sir, it is now my honor to present to you candidates for the conferment of various degrees of Lukenya University. Bachelor of Commerce, First Class Honors, Ntinyari Lispa. Second Class Honors, Upper Division, Habari, Bonaya, Jepkemoi, Teruyot, Etaba, Gekonge, Kiua, Kalu, Chalo, Makena, Miriti, Moraa, Muchui, Muia, Muraya, Musioka, Mutinda, Mwangi, Mwathi, Mwele, Nyamai, Nyutu, Ubenge, Uduong, Ochuok, Omondi, Onyango Chon, Onyango Emmanuel, Onyuna, Paul, Saratawa, Wafula, Waswa, Waturi. Second class honors, Lower Division, Aroba, Shege, Kipkurui, Korir, Chalo Melody, Chalo Kevin, Maina, Mohamed, Mwangi, Nalo, Ndongo, Geshui, Ndongo Rachel, Njambi, Onyango, Otieno, Wabuge, Wambua, Shege, Onyango, Paz, Tebichi, Wangui. Bachelor of Arts in Administration and Governance, Second Class Honors, Upper Division, Kimongo, Mudoka, Mutinda, Mwaniki, Munyoki, Ponves, Mwanthi. Second Class Honors, Lower Division, Mutisia, Kilonzi.
School of Education and Social Sciences. Will the candidates who will be receiving various degrees of Lukenya University in the School of Education and Social Sciences rise once called and remain standing until the Chancellor confers the degrees? Mr. Chancellor, sir, it's now my honor to present to you candidates for the conferment of various degrees of Lukenya University. Bachelor of Arts in Community Development. First Class Honors, Mazinge Odman Habib. Second Class Honors, Upper Division, Muiru. Bachelor of Education Arts, First Class Honors, Kimani Anna Wanjiku. Purugat Mansi Jemtai. Denge Ronita Kaleche. Zalu Zipora Mueni. Second Class Honors, Upper Division, Odhiambo, Alex, Boniface, Bukebi, Chacha, Jebet, Anita, Chebet Flores, Chepkurui, Cheplenting, Chirapo, Chiro, David, Galgalo, Imandu, Isaac, Chepchumba, Chepngetich, Kalui, Chenze, Kengocha, Kirei, Kiarie, Kiio, Kilonzo, Kimani Mary, Kimani Masi, Kimandi, Kimeu, Kimongo, Kioko Alice, Kioko Felix, Kipchumba, Kipkongei, Kiprono, Kirui, Kisuna, Kiusia, Kivinda, Chalo, Litunda, Maina, Maidhia, Maleve, Mango, Masila, Baki, Mbau, Mbuvi Bernard, Mbuvi Felix, Bongo, Moroa, Mokoro, Motuna, Muia Anastasia, Muia Lucia, Muia John, Muimi, Muli Samuel, Muli Marieta, Mulinge, Mulua, Muniu, Munyithia, Munyoki Judy, Munyoki Magdalene, Musango, Musau Teresia, Musau Veronica, Museve, Musimi, Musioki John, Musioki William, Mudhama, Mudhengi, Mudhoka, Mudhoni, Mutinda Emily, Mutinda Mutua, Mutindi, Mutisia, Mutuku Miriam, Mutuku Nelson, Muturi, Mwangi, Mwaniki, Mwende, Mwendwa, Moki, Move, Naeku, Narot, Nasongo, Ndulili, Ndumbu, Gay Fidelis, Gay Esther, Ngetich, Jagi, Nyangisera, Nyamai, Nyanchoka, Nyangweso, Nyokabi, Nyokobi, Nzioki, Ochieng, Oduol, Okinyi, Okune, Olivia, Omare, Omariba, Ombasa, Omondi, Omori, Omlindi, Onduro, Oroche, Osomo, Otieno Esther, Otieno Pauline, Ouma Rogers, Ouma James, Paul, Rehema, Simiu, Siombua, To, Hokevi, Vaati, Wamaidha, Wanjiru, Wandhiwa, Wachuli. Second class honors, lower division, Alio, Bakok, Cherotich, Cheruyot, Imo, Jacob, Karia, Kanana, Kimori, Kimutai, Kipchumba, Krop, Kirop, Chalo, Lotom, Luseka, Mbugi, Mburu, Milia, Monde, Mulandi, Mulwa, Munene, Muringu, Mutisia, Mwara, Ngetich, Nyambochwa, Ochieng, Ongola, Okeyo, Omari, Ontinta, Oyunge, Sakok, Savali, Tawai, To, Wainaina, Wambua, Were, Pass, Kimeu, Kinyua, Uraya, Nambwire, Odhiambo. Bachelor of Education Science, First Class Honors, Maweu Bondo, Odhiambo Patricia Akinyi. Second Class Honors, Upper Division, Chepkurui, Kameti, Kaumbudhu, Kahemba, Kimani, Kingola, Kinuthia, Kioko Monica, Kioko Paul, Kipkemei, Kiplangat, Kiprono, Kidhia, Koech Violet, Koech Leonard, Koech Benedicti, Chalo Clinton, Chalo Manzia, Langat, Litali, Maina, Mbo, Menjo, Mistam, Mue, Muia, Mulindiro, Mulwa, Musau, Mutuku, Mwaako, Mwangi Nicholas, Mwangi Paul, Mwicha, Mongela, Ndinga, Gai, Nyang'au, Zula, Ongise, Omosa, Rono, Salpei, Sila, Thomas, Wangeshi, Wanjiru, Jitwa, Omonga. Second Class Honors, Lower Division, Ambundo, Ahol, Apiri, Chepkok, Hussein, Kasam, Kimeli, Kioko, Malongo, Mongeni, Mulinge, Mudhini, Namino, Dalila, Ndengwa, Ndunda, Nyaga, Nyaoga, Ondero, Okemwa, Okwemba, Ombongo, Otieno, Zaidi, Sarai, Toili, Wanyonyi, Wachuli. Pass. Keli, Chalo, Maluku, Mutunga, Owande, Waswa. Bachelor of Education, Early Childhood Education, First Class Honors, Lavutan David Sila, Mutua Anastasia Mumbe. Second Class Honors, Upper Division, Kilo, Kiyo, Kimuyu, Chalo, Mailu, Bayaji, Mutie, Mwangangi, Nditika, Nyamu, Sheikh Wambua Yusuf. Second class honors, lower division, Kitungai Muema Muli.
I admit you to the respective bachelor's degrees for which you have been educated, trained, examined, and qualified. And by my authority and that of the entire university, give power to read and to do all that pertains to these degrees.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, I'd like to bring this to your attention that this is the first cohort of our master's degree students that we are about to present to you. Mr. Chancellor, sir, I have the honor to call upon the Dean School of Education and Social Sciences to present the candidates for the award of Masters of Degree of Lukenya University.
Will the candidates who will be receiving master degrees of Lukenya University in the School of Education and Social Sciences rise once called and remain standing until the Chancellor confers the degrees? Mr. Chancellor, sir, it's now my honor to present to you candidates for the conferment of master degrees of Lukenya University. Master of Education, Kosenja Cyrus Salash. Mutisia Dennis Chule. Divo Johnston Muia. Nyamboga Ernest Ongwenyi. Nyaundi Dennis Ongake. Mpoke Faith Timoi.
I admit you to the respective master's degrees for which you have been educated, trained, examined, and qualified, and by my authority and that of the entire university, give you power to read and to do all that pertains to these degrees.
I wish to take this chance with your permission to recognize the presence of Bishop Kanoku of ACK. Mr. Chancellor, sir, allow me to call upon the Registrar Academic and Student Affairs to administer the alumni oath.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, allow me to call upon the graduates, and request them to turn their tassels from right to left. You can stand. You can all stand, graduates. Congratulations. I now call upon the graduates to say the alumni pledge together. We are saying the alumni pledge together. I am today a proud graduate of Lukenya University. The university that embraces green philosophy and holds generations with esteem. I pledge that I will endeavor to work for the improvement of society. I will foster values that include responsiveness, inclusiveness, integrity, teamwork, community service, excellence, exploration, innovation, transparency and accountability, to contribute towards a greener, better world in my profession. I will be an ambassador of my alma mater, Lukenya University, and provide support in the best way possible. So help me God. Mr. Chancellor, sir, I ask the grantees to face the congregation. Eyes up. Ladies and gentlemen, I now present Kenya University 2021 graduates and declare them eligible members of Lukenya University Alumni Association. Congratulations. Let's celebrate them.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, I humbly invite the Vice Chancellor to dissolve the congregation. I also take this opportunity to announce that after the dissolution of the congregation, there will be a prayer, followed by the national anthem, before the Chancellor's recession. I call upon you all to remain standing during the Chancellor's recession.
I'm making an announcement which is key to some of our stakeholders. Students of governance and administration, you will remain behind to take a special photo with the Chancellor. Mr. Chancellor, sir, by virtue of Lukenya University Statute 26, Part 6, I now declare this congregation officially dissolved.
Let us all bow our heads before our Creator as we make this closing prayer. Heavenly Father, again we honor and sincerely bless your holy name. Your protection and guidance over today's graduation ceremony has been a blessing and joy to all of us. Now as we disperse, I pray that your divine accompaniment shall move together with us and lead us in all our undertakings. I pray and bless the Lukenya University, the Board of Trustees, the Chancellor, the Governing Council, all the teaching staff, the support staff and students. May the favor of God drive you to a higher and expansive levels that will make you one of the most prestigious learning institutions in the world. I pray and dedicate the outgoing graduates to your Lordship, God, that His favor shall follow you as you venture in the job market outside there. May the Lord be your shield and the hope in all areas of venture. As we discuss now, our omnipresent God, let your crowd of peace, love, and everlasting mercy be together with us all. For in Jesus' mighty name we pray, and all God's people say, Amen. May the Lord be with you all.
Please remain standing until the Chancellor's recession leaves the graduation square.
Tunawapongeza halmashauri kwa chuo chetu check. Check, check. What?